Michael, it's wonderful to meet you, sir. Thank you for taking a minute out today. I'm looking forward to getting into your work.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So let's begin our journey. Before we got on, we kind of tangentially talked about COVID and brought it up, but I want to get into it a little bit more. Ultimately, 5 years ago, everything was changing with COVID happening. How did you get through that pandemic era, and how has it radiated into your work and what you do today?
Um, I think I was just like everybody. We had to socially isolate from everybody. It was a big change. Um, I think the isolation helped me. I guess I don't know. I can adapt to a lot of environments. I can either go out and socialize, or I can just be by myself and be a hermit for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think during that time, it gave me more time to just ponder about ideas and like be creative. And I think it actually helped me kind of get really creative and figure out just new ways and new ideas because I'm an entrepreneur, right? Obviously, I used to do real estate, did stocks. I learned a lot of things on my own, and always wanted to help develop something on my own. And my family actually owns factories in Asia, so I kept in touch with them. They sent me some suppliers. We collaborated, and obviously I branded this new assistive hearing device that's been trending really well right now, right? So yeah, so I think it helped me really, zone into my creativity during that COVID time.
So you are ushering in a revolution in hearing technology. So I want to ask you this. So everybody has a better handle on what you do on a daily basis as an entrepreneur. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds. It's career day. The curious kid in the back of the room is like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer him?
I think I just tell them I'm an entrepreneur. I pretty much a business owner. The pretty much that's what it is. I'm a creative entrepreneur.
Right on. What
Yeah.
did you want to be when you were a kid? When you were 12 years old, what was your dream to grow up and become?
When I was a kid, so I had a lot of trauma when I was a kid, right? So around 12 years old is actually when I lost my mother, right, to cancer. So I think that was a really traumatizing time in my life. So a lot of dreams were confusing during that time. So that was
Yeah.
actually the most confusing time, right? So I was actually a straight A student in grade when I was 12. And after my mom passed away, everything just went downhill, right? So I think I always kind of want to be like like a sports player. I was athletic. Now I'm not because I'm partially blind. But I always wanted to, I loved hockey. But my family was really poor, so I just created my own hockey pads with paper and made my own hockey helmet with paper. But yeah, but obviously I noticed that later, there's stereotypes. They say Asians, can't really, you know, uh, play sports. But I always want to be a sports player. Yeah.
So how did you get this entrepreneurial spirit? I mean, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of energy. Where did these building blocks from your life come from to evolve into where you're at today?
Yeah, I think the building blocks came just throughout my entire life. Had tons of adversity, tons of challenges from moving from Hong Kong as a young child, not speaking English, to some discrimination. Um, just yeah, losing my mother at an early age. Like I had to learn a lot of things on my own. I ran away when I was 14. Um, I joined a group of friends that were like misfits. We created some havoc for a while. I got in a lot of trouble. Um, those are all learning lessons, right? And then through those times, just battling through everything, and especially my eye condition, right? Learning I was partially blind. That really was a kicker. That changed my life, right? Being not able to navigate properly. Had to had my ex-girlfriend lead me around all the time, or else I'd trip on stairs, walk into walls, and yeah, it really opened my eyes that I had a purpose. I think I needed to do something to help others like myself, and that's kind of where this idea came from, right? I just kept pushing and pushing, right? Just I think the more adversity you have, it's either you drown in it or you can persevere, right? So I guess I persevered at the end, right? It wasn't easy.
So, talk to me a little bit about your professional timeline, how you got to this point where you have this trending, affordable, health conscious hearing apparatus. How did you evolve as an entrepreneur to get to this idea to have it take off?
Um, I was pretty lucky. This is actually my first business, right? So this is my first idea. So I'm actually very lucky that it just happened to work out, right? Because a lot of people tell you they had ideas that failed, they had to revamp or redo something totally different. I was just lucky that this is something that's a necessity that people really relate to, and it was people are actually ready for something new, like a new option in hearing that's affordable. It's a fraction of the cost of hearing aids. It's something you don't wear in your ear, you wear outside your head. Like it's on in front of your ears, right?
Yeah.
So it's very trendy. I think people and it works for people all ages, so it's just a very trendy, very healthy and affordable way of hearing. And just very, very lucky that I was able to share this, right? And I've been testing thousands of people, and everyone's been really engaged and loving this product, right? So that's why I'm trying to push for global audience and global recognition, right? So I have Dragon's Den next year. I'm taking part of Legacy Makers, which I filmed in Miami, which I was lucky to get chosen as one out of 225 people. Oh, sorry, yeah, 225 people out of 12,000 applicants. So the
Wow.
one percenter, all over the world, people sharing their story, and there's celebrities on the show. It's going to be on streaming on all platforms, right? In the summer, it's
Yeah.
going to be this big TV show. So um, very lucky to represent Canada, Calgary, as one of these innovation guys, right?
That has to be a big deal. I mean, that has to be a lot of like synergy right now building for you to get to a point where you could be going to a whole nother level in life.
That's right. Yeah, it's very new. It's almost like I'm in shock. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, oh, this regular dude like a couple of years ago, right? And the
Yeah.
more you push, the more exposure like this. This is great. Just get
Yeah.
more podcasting time, sharing it with different countries and people. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. After you lost your mother and you kind of went through that wild phase, you obviously reined it in and you become successful. Who is that hero, that inspirational force that has allowed you to evolve into where you're at today?
Yeah, I would say my ex girlfriend. Even though she's my ex girlfriend, we're still very close till this day.
Yeah.
We've been together for 12 years, right? So when we first dated, I was pretty lost still. I was still into the partying, the drinking, the whole scene, I think she's much younger than me, but very mature for her age, and I think she just drove that 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 she drove a lot of life lessons in me, even though she was 12 years younger than me. But she saw like a lot of mistakes I was making, like trusting the wrong people, making wrong decisions, putting my money into the wrong places. When she said like you should create your own ideas, you shouldn't put your money towards someone else, and you lose your money and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, have your own ideas, be driven, and like try to change the world, try to do something on your own. At least you win or lose on your own, right? With no one else. So she put that in me, and never gave up on me, right? So of course people have tons of flaws, but I think she really helped me change into a better person, because I had all those, I had like 2 decades of just being, doing things on my own terms, just a lot of failures, a lot of bad decisions. And I think if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be, where I am, right? So yeah, it's definitely her.
This is the first time I've ever heard ex-girlfriend for this answer.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
But it pays homage to you and your reverence for the past and giving credit to what to who deserves it, you know? I mean, no matter who it is, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If you can meet one entrepreneur alive on the planet right now that you look up to, that you find does it the right way, that might help you on your journey, who would you love to meet and hang out with and talk to?
Is it okay if it's someone that's passed away? Like,
Yeah,
because it's
please.
a
Ghost
so
are
I
fine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I would say Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee is, the my hero. He's I would say I don't know how to do martial arts, but
Yeah.
he's the philanthropist. He's like the he didn't live long enough to see the growth and the change in the culture, but he's very much like me, where he moved to the States. Discrimination was crazy back then for him, right in the 70s, but he wanted to teach martial arts. He wanted to teach it to every culture, even though it was frowned upon in his culture, and he was beaten by it, and he didn't care, right? He just his wife was Caucasian. He did everything the opposite what the Chinese culture wanted him to do. But he had a goal to share this beautiful martial arts with the world, right? And I don't think I think he'd be so proud of himself that I don't think he knew that MMA now today, the gloves, everything was pretty much his own vision, right? He was using this before MMA happened, right? So Dana White always says like, oh, Bruce Lee's his idol, right? Because he fought through the obstacles for his entire life, and to be a celebrity in Hong Kong especially, he was loved, like no other. He's like a god, in Hong Kong, and of course now he's loved all over the world because he's just he changed the world with his fearlessness, So I feel like he drives me for sure. Yeah.
I was thinking about him the other day. I was looking on my playlist and a Stone Temple Pilots song came up, The Big Empty, and it was on the Crow soundtrack. And I was thinking about his son, Brandon,
Yep.
who passed on the set, and how their parallelisms as to what happened to them at the end were very, that whole lineage of the Lee line. Isn't that wild, man?
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Just,
curse of the dragon they call it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's wild. But that influence is just radiated and actually gained steam. I mean, you still see in all kinds of, college houses the poster of, of Bruce Lee on the wall and everywhere. I mean, he just his influence always gets more. So let me ask you this as a successful entrepreneur, at the end of the day, there's something to be said about work-life balance. You got to take care of your soul, but you have a business model that's yours. It's your baby. You have to take care of it. Do you try to find an equilibrium between those two worlds?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like so like we'll go back to my ex-girlfriend. We broke up like last year sometime, right? And I was going through a really bad time, back to drinking, just really out of it. And then my friends really pulled me out of the waters and just told me, you have a purpose. She wouldn't want to see you like this. You gotta really get yourself together. And then I just suddenly just went sober. Like I've been sober for 7 months now, and I don't really miss it at all. Like I don't even want to have another sip, right? It's changed. It's made me so much more driven. It doesn't confuse me. It doesn't make me tired, waste my days, Found that's very, very important to follow that. For other people, they find it hard. For me, it was just like I could just quit, no problem, right? And from there, I've hired a trainer. I work out 3 times a week. I eat healthier now. Um, Really trying to get my sleeping pattern back to normal because I've been sleepless just building this business, and it's not healthy. So I've been trying to, just change my sleeping pattern, right? Because that's very important too, right?
Yeah.
And besides that, I think yeah, those are my main things, right? And getting some therapy and stuff is important,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If you had a dream tonight and ran into that 14-year-old version of you that's getting ready to run away, you could tell that version of you a piece of advice based on this life that you've evolved into, the wisdom you've accumulated over these years. What advice would you impart on that version of you?
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of things to say to him. Um, yeah, I would probably tell him don't follow what your friends do because that was a lot of, like I got a lot of trouble doing what my friends wanted to do. I didn't think for myself. I was so into loyalty, just being fitting in, right? Um, because like there's a period where I was just lost because me and my dad we're not really close. My mom was the loving, nurturing mom. So because I lost my way with my mom and I just started to drift from all my family members, that's when I just really became who I was, right? I was just this angry kid. So I probably pull him to the corner and say, hey, there's if I saw what I saw, I'd be like, hey, there's hope,
Yeah.
just go, make your mom proud. What you're doing is you're actually making her very disappointed in you, right? And and that's very important. Right now, I feel very lucky that I can kind of change that whole the I tarnished, like I think I tarnished a lot of my childhood. I feel like I let my mom down, and now I feel like I'm finally getting I'm finally getting that back right. So I feel like I hope I'm hope I'm making her proud because this is something I think she's probably been waiting for, and I think she's always watching me as well, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
It makes you live a little harder, though. I mean, I mean, it just kind of pushes you in a positive way, I would imagine.
yeah, it does, yeah,
You
it
know.
does.
So let me ask you this. If you were to walk into a room, entrepreneurs, we see all these entrepreneurs and they're professional and they have these wonderful visions and always see them in a professional sense. So let's say you walked into a room of everybody that knows you from your life as an entrepreneur, being a professional, and you could walk up to a podium and tell them one fun story. The first concert that you went to, one of the coolest places you ever visited, jumping out of an airplane, outrunning a bear, just a fun story. What would you tell that room of people?
Hmm, fun story. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm really not a very adventurous. Well, I mean, I travel a lot, but like I don't know about like any
No,
crazy stories. But
well, no, but what's been one of the most magical places,
oh,
unexpectedly
magical, yeah.
magical places that you've traveled to?
Okay, magical places. I've traveled to probably Morocco.
Yeah,
Just being on the safari desert, I had my Zen moments on there, riding a camel. That my traveling is definitely my happiest times.
yeah,
When you experience other cultures and food, and especially you're living in Canada, I have a lot of friends that just make money and they never travel, and they see me travel. I think I've traveled 35 countries the
wow,
last 10 years with my ex, and that's another thing she told me to. When you make your money, you should spend it on the right things, and traveling is definitely the right thing. You never feel like you're wasting your money
yeah.
because it's memories, right? Memories you'll never forget. So from traveling, I guess, yeah, I did a lot of things I'd never done, like, zip lining to like parasailing and stuff. Those are cool things too, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of water. So for me to do it and enjoy it and live through it, I guess it's great, Yeah, traveling is definitely amazing.
So, of everything that you've accomplished and evolved into at this point in your life, what are you the proudest of?
I think I'm proudest of just turning my life around, really.
Yeah.
Like, just not and being sober. A lot of people find that hard. Um, I found it really changed my life, the soul, the deep inside. Drinking really combined with my depression, anxiety, to everything. Really, I think it really pushed me down and didn't let me hit my full potential.
Yeah.
I think now I'm finally like letting all the creativity out, the energy is coming out, the podcasting. Like I never used to think I was going to do podcasts and like stand in front of 20, 30, 100 people, do guest presentations because it gets kind of scary. Right? But I learned that through my ADHD, I talk a lot. I text a lot. So I zone that into, doing something positive with it instead, right? So then I can go up and talk all I want, just
Yeah.
share my story with other people, and I can be entertaining. I can talk, I can be funny, So um, yeah, I'm really proud of what I'm doing today. I'm excited for what happens next
Yeah.
because it's only been a year and a half. It's so much support from people of all walks of life, right? So, and I get calls from seniors just how happy they are with
Yeah.
this product. Grandchild just bought one from me, and he said, "Oh, my grandma loves it, and she just hates wearing her hearing aids, and this is something that she just loves to wear, and she's gonna promote it to her friends." And I'm like, I love this. I love just seeing people's life change on
Yeah.
my products, and I just want to see it happen slowly, globally, that would be my dream.
Absolutely. Yeah, and even having a meta moment here and talking about podcasting, what a wonderfully therapeutic realm of like exchanging ideas and getting things out. I mean, have you really had a good time doing it?
Oh yeah. I think you're probably my third one, but I have like a whole bunch of them just set up for the next couple of months. I think everyone really likes this story
Yeah.
about the Rocky story, like the underdog
Yep.
and finding the light at the tunnel. And even talking to you, it's so easy talking to you. I don't feel nervous at all.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I'm talking to a friend, so and just chit-chatting. Yeah, I love it.
It's
Yeah.
great, man. It is. So let me ask you this. At the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, clients, everyone that you work with, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Um, I feel like I'm a driven, I'm very I think I can be my own like enemy if I really like I can be very hard on myself.
Yeah.
But like I feel like when things are good, I'm driven. I want to push for the stars. I want to grab it by the horn and run with it. Like I tend to overwork myself, but it can be good or bad. But I feel like this is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. I wake up every day happy, just like excited to just create positive change out there. Social impact, because so many people out there their lives can change from this. Such a simple thing, right? Improving hearing, improving sight. It's like a necessity. So if it's something under $200. Like it's such a great investment for people, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I wake up every day just glad I'm alive. Yeah.
Right on. So if anyone wants to buy this wonderful hearing technology, or if they want to catch the TV show coming up, they want to reach out, any of the other good business, where do they go?
Yeah, so the website is www.theinnerflow.com. So THEINNERFLO.com. So no W, just flow with an O.
Okay.
And Instagram is at the Flow Group. So they can check out all the content on there, any upcoming events, a lot of public announcements that's coming up, a lot of milestones. I'm going to start posting those up. And the Legacy Makers TV, that's what it's called. So Legacy Makers TV, you have to download Inside Success app. So
Okay.
I can't say the names of the streaming shows because it's there's some legalities,
Yeah.
but it's gonna come out in the summer and available on all platforms. So
Okay. Excellent.
mhm.
This has been great, Michael. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your time. Best of
Thanks,
luck. It's a wonderful
thank you,
story.
Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Looking to
Thanks,
get
man.
new clients to your business through cold calling or email marketing? At Agency Y, they envision a world in which small and big companies have equal chances to win new customers in the market. Their purpose is to bring parity and reduce the gap between large and small firms with the help of their cold calling and cold email marketing services. Use the code Joe Dimino 10 at www.agencyyyy.org/coldcallingjoe.php or www.agencyyyy.org/emailmarketingjoe.php to get 10% off your first order. This is Joe Dimino of Neon Jazz and Famous Interviews, and I stand behind Agency Y to meet your business dreams.